Wednesday, we're going to be hitting back and biceps. And now you know everything about your pre-workout nutrition and your post-workout nutrition, you can get ready for the best workout yet. So let's get in there, hit it hard, make sure that you do your 5-minute warm-up, and I'll see you at the gym. First exercise that we're going to be doing for back is single arm rows. You can use grip straps like Jim is demonstrating here to wrap around the handle of the dumbbell, which will make it easier on your grip so you can focus more on your back doing all the work. So you're going to put your left hand and your left knee upon the bench, and then you're going to bring your right arm up to your side and squeeze at the top like Jim is showing you here. This is going to work the middle of the back. You're going to breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way back down. Remember, this is just a warm-up set, so just grab a weight that you can comfortably do about 10 to 12 repetitions without too much of a strain. Make sure you keep your back flat at all times. Once you've done one arm, you're going to move on to the other arm and do the exact same thing, except now your right hand and your right knee is on the bench. Once you've done both arms, that's your warm-up set done. You can put those weights back, pick up a heavier weight that'll allow you to reach failure at around 10 to 12 repetitions. Again, make sure that you keep your back totally flat. Don't round it. Protect your back and squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top of the movement. Get a good stretch as you go down and focus on the contraction at the top by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Try not to jerk this weight or twist your back. Just keep it flat and squeeze your shoulder blades. Once you've done one arm and reached absolute failure, you're ready to move on to the other arm. You're going to breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way back down. Squeeze at the top, stretch at the bottom. Once you've reached absolute failure on this exercise at around 12 repetitions, that's one set done. Now you need to do 2 more of these sets and rest for around 45 seconds between each set. Once you've done so, you can put the weights back and let's move on to the next movement. The second movement that we've got for back is now the dumbbell rows, where you're going to be bringing both dumbbells up at the same time. So it'll be very similar to what you was doing on single arm rows, except you're using both arms together, squeezing your shoulder blades, and this time you'll be incorporating your lats just a little bit more. You're going to breathe out on the way up, breathe in on the way back down. Make sure that you're bent over just like Jim has shown you here, and you're keeping your back flat at all times. Once you've reached absolute failure at around 12 repetitions, do 2 more sets to total 3 sets on this exercise. And now we're ready to move on to the new movement of the week, which is close grip pull downs. So you're going to find an attachment like the one Jim has got here. You're going to place it upon the shackle, and then you're going to grab hold of the handles on the inside and you're going to pull down to your chest before going back up. You can look up at all times when you're doing this exercise to make sure that you're sticking your chest out and you're arcing your back. You're going to breathe out on the way down and breathe in on the way back up. Make sure you don't use any momentum and you don't swing down with your torso. It's only your arms that should be moving here to work your lats on your back. Reach absolute failure at around 12 repetitions, rest for 45 seconds, do another set to failure at around 12 reps, rest again for 45 seconds, and perform your third and final set. Once you've done those 3 sets, that's it for back. Now we're ready to move on to biceps. The first exercise for biceps is aligned cable curls. You should remember this exercise from last week. This will really isolate your biceps and prevent you from using any momentum at all. Keep your back flat against the pad, your feet flat on the floor as well, and you're going to bring that cable and the bar up towards your chin before going back down to a full stretch. This is just a warm-up set now, so select a weight that will allow you to do around 12 repetitions comfortably. Once you've completed your warm-up set, you can select a heavier weight that will allow you to reach failure at around 10 to 12 repetitions. Make sure you get a really good stretch at the bottom of the movement and a full contraction at the top. Breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way back down. Now once you've reached absolute failure at around 10 to 12 repetitions on this exercise, do 2 more sets to total 3 sets to absolute failure. Remember to rest for around 45 seconds between each. And once you've completed those sets, let's move on to the second exercise, which is the preacher barbell curls. This is another exercise that you did last week, so you should feel confident enough to move up weight now. Put the backs of your arms against the flats of the pad that is angled down, like Jim has shown you here. Get a good stretch at the bottom. Don't go all the way though, just keep your arms slightly bent to prevent any injury before coming back up for full contraction. Now you're going straight into the working set here because you've already warmed up on the first exercise. Reach absolute failure at around 12 repetitions for all 3 sets on this movement before moving on to our final and new exercise for the week, which is drag curls. Now drag curls are where you keep the bar close to your body at all times and your elbows go back. Just like Jim has shown you here, this will fully isolate the biceps and you should be able to get a really good burn out of this movement. Make sure that you don't shrug up too much with your traps or your shoulders. Just drag the bar up your body, get a good squeeze for about a second at the top before going back down. Breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way back down. Don't use any momentum, just use your biceps to do all the work here. You're going to do 3 sets of this exercise, reaching absolute failure at around 10 to 12 repetitions. When you've done so, that's it for back and biceps. We're ready to move on to calves. The exercise that we'll be doing for calves is alternative calf press. Now you can do it on a machine like Jim is demonstrating here, or you can do it on a step. Just standing on there with 1 foot at a time with the heel hanging off the end of the step, pushing up and then stretching out. But with a machine, you're going to do it just like Jim is showing you here. You're going to push all the weight throughout the ball of your foot to get a good contraction, and then you're going to bring your toes back up towards your body to get a good stretch. Go and breathe out on the way down and breathe in on the way back up. You can go a little bit higher reps on this exercise, so you can go as high as 15 to 20 repetitions. Once you've completed 1 foot, move on to the other. Do the exact same thing. Breathe out and breathe in. Keep your upper body still, keep your knees slightly bent and contract those calves. Once you've completed your warm-up set, you're ready to go into the first working set. This time you should be reaching absolute failure between 15 and 20 repetitions. So make sure that you breathe out as you push your toes away from you and breathe in as you bring those toes back towards you. Once you've reached absolute failure between 15 and 20 repetitions, move on to your opposite foot, do the same thing, and you need to do this 3 more times. Once you've completed your 3 sets, that's it, your calves are finished as well. Now just go and cool down for around 5 to 10 minutes on a bike or treadmill, have your protein and Vitago shake, and I'll see you back at the office. Alright, you had another great workout. Hopefully you already had your post-workout stack that we spoke about. And tomorrow, we're going to be talking about meal replacements on the go and protein bars on the go. So make sure that you do your 50 minutes of cardio in the morning and come back, and I'll see you then.